Hello, I'm another one that isn't right in this area, but have been affected by the clean air zone, by the parking restrictions, by the cycle lanes. It's all part of a similar type of activity. Now, my first thing is, you might have noticed cost of living has gone up. I would guess most of you have. A lot of that is transport. If you have low traffic neighborhoods, if you put in cycle lanes, it all slows down transport. That's putting off cost. So getting deliveries, now I've got a secondhand tool shop, antique tools, secondhand tools. An awful lot of my customers can come in, take something away. It may be fairly heavy, so they need to be on transport. A lot of my people bringing tools in to sell me can be disabled, they can be older. Here, what we do, we drive into the cycle lane. I've got people who will pull in at the moment and just stop. Some of them refuse to do that, so they take the tools to the tip. So we're not recycling a lot of things in that case. Now I look at this area and trying to work on the map what would happen. I think I broke it down. There are about 13 different segments that are going to be isolated from each other. Might be more, might be less, but it's around 13. In my area, we've got turn restrictions, we've got roads blocked. It's meaning that people have to drive much further. That the whole of the city center is being treated as entertainment zone.
Disabled people have no access.
If you are disabled now, just up the road from me, I've been there for 40 years or 42 years. Just up the road from me, we have a violin shop or music shop. The owner is disabled. He hasn't been able to get into his own shop for about 2.5 years. He can't park. He will get someone who will double park on the road and let him out of the car. He's done that a couple of times, but he can't. I've got customers that will drive into the cycle lanes. I've got delivery people who will drive into the cycle lanes. But here, and what we will have when they start making it more permanent, you lose all that. So I lose it. From my business, most of my supply comes in from people who are much older. Making the area in central Bristol, what they're calling the entertainment zone, it means you wipe out any business that isn't. And I think they're trying to do the same thing here. If you've got any sort of business that is dealing with people from a distance, a larger catchment area, they're going to be hit. You'll get some businesses that do fairly well. If you're very local and you've only got local customers and local supply, yeah, you're going to survive, you're going to do okay. Now they hold up in Cottam and up in Clifton. They say it's a great thing, it's worked well for having a pedestrian zone. It works very well if you are very local. If you're not incredibly local, no, it puts on time, it puts up your cost. What they're doing here, I think you'll find, if you've got friends in a slightly different zone from you, they're going to be taking extra time to get to you. Now, I had that when I first was in Bristol. I had friends that would come and visit. They started taking away the traffic or taking away some of the parking, put up parking prices. All of a sudden, no, they stopped coming. They wouldn't visit because it was too difficult. And I think you're going to have the same thing here, and it's going to happen in most of these low traffic neighborhoods, that you start isolating people. You start losing those contacts. So socially, they talk about they want to make it more inclusive. What they're really doing is making it less inclusive. They're making it much more difficult. And they're putting up your costs because transport is part of your cost. If it takes a lorry driver or a delivery driver 10 minutes in the past, it now can take them 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes because They're driving around different parts of the same area. Each time they have to go out, around, and back in, out, around, and back in. In our area, around Perry Road, Park Row, it could add 10, 15 miles to a person's driving. I've had customers who have said they can't park in front of me, they can't get near mine. It happened to be a couple. The wife dropped the husband off. He went in the shop. She drove around continuously for 45 minutes to pick him up. That's not making a clean air zone. That's not improving air quality.